Welcome to the Sparky Coach podcast. This platform was built by Sparkies for Sparkies. We simply exist to make business owners more profitable, or businesses more profitable and more predictable. So we want to work with people that work hard because we love working hard too, that work smart because you got to be on top of the business, people that are kind because no one likes a dickhead. Am I right? People who want results because that's what we're here for, right? And people who want to be part of a like-minded community. So if you're interested in hearing more about the platform, please reach out and enjoy the podcast.
Welcome back to the Sparky Coach podcast. Happy days to just wherever you are, whatever time it is, whatever you're up to. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And things are great. I want to touch today on a little bit more around our admin job management side of the business area and sort of tie it all in. I don't want to put a bow on it, so to speak, but I want to tie in around the business side of it because there's two parts to it. There's the doing the work, and then there's the back end side of it, the admin part of it. So I really want to focus here around what's important to your business. What is the main thing to be doing? What are the key levers, key drivers that will have the biggest impact on your business in a day-to-day sense, week-to-week sense? Now, a little bit inspired here around the famous NBA basketball coach, administrator, he's sort of all sorts of role, Pat Riley. And he talks about the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And I think here in life, I'll repeat that. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. I guess that really emphasizes the focus or need for focus and need for importance of focus on the prioritization and identifying what truly matters. So what are the main thing or main things, and dedicate your efforts towards that rather than getting sidetracked by less important matters. Now, I think in a world we live in, there's lots of shiny objects, bright, shiny objects that can be distracting towards us. And often we can get sidetracked within our business journey by seeing new ideas or sort of, hey, that'd be a cool thing to do. But understanding the simplicity, where's the simplicity line? And I touched on this around the admin side of the business in a previous pod, but I think, and also probably too in the job management, but I really want to dive into everything that we have and everything that we do. We can obviously do in different ways. We could add on, we could alter, we can certainly improve, but is it always necessary, I think, is what we need to ask ourselves. Now, if I transfer back to the job management system that a lot of us will already have in place, is the embracement of that and using it in the most simple, basic way. So utilizing it first and foremost for what it's designed for. And yes, there's lots of add-on parts that can be done. There's lots of, hey, we could improve this area and change that area. But let's get it at its core first and foremost. Let's just get it running from left to right in a sequential order to get the most out of it. And then we can look at adding on the little bits and pieces here and there, or altering the small components, and or making that form a little bit prettier, because there's no point having a pretty form if we're not getting the quotes out, so to speak. So the simplifying of your business, I think, is really important here. And it touches on what I spoke about in the previous pod on the admin side. Hey, we've got the invoicing, we've got the quoting, we've got the workload, we've got the schedule, we've got our staff, we've got our clients. And then we're looking to add on one or two or build out 1 or 2 systems or processes at a time. Now, we've all been here. There's nothing worse than jumping from, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, and not getting any of it done. But then also, too, there's no greater feeling in accomplishing, hey, we've got these 5 or 6 things to do, and then knocking them off one by one. It is a truly, like, you feel really good about it all. So I probably want to really look at here is, what is the main thing that you're doing within your business? Or what are the few main things, right? Now, obviously, if there's only 1 or 2 of you, there's probably more things to do, as in you're wearing more hats, right? But having a look at it, how do I wear all of these hats to the best of my ability by making it the most simple way for each of those hats, right? And if you have a few people working for you, making it really clear, like, what the main thing is for each particular person. An example could be there is that, hey, I go after finding all of the work and getting all of the work. So if that's one of your main things, making sure that you're doing that every week and having a look for it. If your main thing is doing the work, making sure that that's what your focus is and you're not getting sidetracked by getting caught up in some quoting or getting caught up in meaningless discussions around other parts of the business. So I really want to challenge each and every one of us to look into our business and have a look at what we're doing. And hey, are we running this in a very complex way? Are we doing this in a way that is making things unnecessarily complex, or adding a workload to our week that is unnecessary? And I touched on before how making the admin the priority, so we never miss a switchboard upgrade. So how can you ensure that within the week that we have an element of administration time that is locked in, sacred, and doesn't get disturbed, to allow for that continuity and flow to occur each and every week, so we're not building up this massive workload? And having a think and having a focus on, what are the main things that I need to be doing? What are they? And I think when you sit down and challenge yourself and ask what they really are, they won't be as complex as you probably feel they are. And you probably find that you might not be focusing on what the main things are within your business. You could be getting sidetracked. Now, one thing I sort of focus on, or we sort of communicate a lot with, is there's an element of, hey, I'm looking for a bit more work, or I'm struggling with a little bit of work. Now, that's okay, but then, are you getting all your quotes out on time, in a timely manner, right? Are you actively seeking out new opportunities? Now, those new opportunities can be done in various ways, right? You know, for example, it could be, hey, we've joined a networking group, something like BNI or Fresh or Get Connected, whatever they are out there. So you're actively doing that. You could be involved in a chamber of commerce, for example. You could be actively communicating with clients. You may have enough of a client base, you're just not servicing them well enough with the quotes side of things. So you're not actually getting any quotes back. So comments, I need some more work, but then we're not putting in the time or the effort. So the main thing here is, hey, we need to find more work, but we're not putting the time or effort in to find the new work and or put the quotes out that we are getting in. So that's not actually the problem. The problem is making sure that it's the priority, making sure it's the main thing. Hey, I'm always dealing with disorganization, or the guys don't know where they are, or we're always missing materials. So what's your scheduling like? Is your scheduling in place? Is it tight? Are you placing a priority on what you need to be doing to make sure that schedule is organized and in place so that everyone knows what's going on? So I think if you look back and sort of see, hey, where are my bottlenecks or where are my issues within my business, they're going to be related to only a few key areas. And I've probably banged on about this enough. And you're probably like, I've heard this before, but it's going to be the invoicing, the quoting, the workload, the scheduling, the staff, the clients, and or building out one or two systems or processes. Is that you're probably not working on what your main thing is. You're getting pulled in multiple directions, or you're allowing yourself to be pulled in multiple directions, or your prioritization is in different areas. So you haven't got any organization or any structure to your day or your week to know what's going on. Now, I think it's important to understand what your personality type is too. So how do you best operate? Do you best operate with a list? Do you need to start every day? Do you need to finish every day? How do you go about being organized in that sense? If you don't know what is going on and what is happening, it's very hard to feel like you know what is the priority at any point in time. So that may mean also too that you need to sit down and have a little bit of reflection time and have a look at, hey, what does my actual week look like? How can I go about this in the best possible way to get the best outcomes that we're looking for? Now, this also may mean that you need to sit down and have a conversation with any staff that you have and identify what their main roles or main thing is or main things are. So particularly if you've got your tradies within your team, the main thing for your tradies is obviously to execute and get the work done first and foremost. And then on top of that, there may be things around communication that you want to be looking at with your tradies as well. So, hey, I need you to communicate on site with any of the key people or key decision makers to get the information and then transfer it back in a certain way, right? I need you to guide the apprentices this particular way. So that we get the best out of them also. So we want to be having a look at how do we get the best out of ourselves and how do we get the best out of everyone in our team. And I think you need to start with having a look at, okay, what are we doing currently? And is it the most simple way that we can be doing it? How can we simplify what we're doing? And then identifying what the main things are. What are the main things that we all need to be doing? And then put the trust, obviously, in each of you that you'll be able to execute those main things. Now, obviously, there's a discussion to be had if they're not being met. We can park that to the side. But at least if they're identified, it's easy to then measure because it is now known and now identified, so we can have a look at it and go from there. So I want us to all have a look and sit back and be like, okay, cool. What are the things that we can be doing in our business to make things better and make things more simple? Now, I look at it and speaking with your boys every day and every week is that the crux of the problem is finding some time. Now, a lot of that can come down to being like, how do we organize our week out? Now, hey, this particular day or time of the week, I need to be doing these particular tasks and communicate it. Let people know. So tell your team members, hey, between this time and this time, I've just got to do these things here because they're really important. Because, hey, I want to invoice out on Tuesday morning from 10 till 12, for example. I'm not going to be able to answer the phone during that time. So just so you're aware, excuse me, just so you're aware, that's why the call will go through the keeper and then we'll pick it up after that. Now, an issue on that could be that you haven't organized your schedule or the workload well enough so that you're getting hammered with phone calls in that time. So understanding that often we are the creator of our own problems and understanding that we can fix them. So how do we simplify it? How do we identify what the main things are? How do we also look to empower some people within our own team, if we've got team members, to be able to make some decisions on their own? But when it all boils down to it, I feel it is the essence of operating your Sparky business can be quite simple. We can make it really complex if we want, just like the job management software. We can make job management software really complex if we want, but let's get the basics down pat first. We can make our administration side of the business really, really complex also, but let's just simplify, find out the path that we want to be creating, and focus on that. Focus on the invoice, focus on the quoting, focus on the workload, focus on your schedule, focus on your staff, focus on your clients, and focus on your systems. Having a look at that, challenge yourself to identify what the main things are and what the main things are that you need to be doing within your business. How can I simplify it? And then how can I look to get the structure within my week to allow me to get the outcomes that I'm looking for by doing the main things to propel the business in a forward direction? I think this would allow you, I think you should allow yourself, a little bit of time to sit down and reflect on this and be like, hey, what can I do to make some changes and simplify and identify what these main things are that I want to be doing? So it may take a couple of hours. You may need to sit down, may have a sit down at the coffee shop, at the cafe, may need to go to the park, may need to put yourself aside to identify these things. But it could be the need that you, or could be the sort of kickstart you're looking for to be like, hey, no, I've got it. It's a bit all over the place. How can I simplify and how can I make it easier? How can I get a bit of structure back into my week? What are the main things that need to be done that I need to be doing? What are the main things that other people need to be doing? And I really want to, said it already, really want you to look at it and challenge yourself to find what your main things are to make your business humming in the right direction and simplify it all. Because at the end of the day, if you just do the mundane, simple task continually, really, really well over time, you'll build out the process and systems that you need to execute the outcomes that you are looking for. So sit down, reflect, get yourself a bit of time to find out what your main thing is and what the main things are for your business to be able to propel it in the right direction and get your business humming again. Have a great day. Whatever you're up to, wherever you are, enjoy yourself and join in next time. Cheers.
That's a wrap on another podcast. Whatever you're doing, don't be too busy to stop and check if you're making money. And above all else, you know the rules, be kind. See you soon.